And we are live. It seems Mark already found his way into the chat. It's nice to see you, Mark. Congratulations again, by the way, for your position that you were. I'm assuming technically that's still elected, even though it's what, more akin to like a kind of like a councilman kind of thing. I never understood the whole alderman thing. It seems to be a Chicago area thing. I don't think anybody else really does it. It's interesting to see the way that they have that set up. But congratulations nonetheless. Yeah, so good luck in all of your new responsibilities. Is it? I was always kind of curious about this. Is this a paid gig? Is there some form of compensation? And if you're wondering, by the way, I know there's not many of you in here yet. This is a mulligan. This is, you caught me drinking a Busch, actually, and don't harp on me too bad. I didn't mean to buy Busch. I went to the gas station. Budweiser just kind of, the price just kills me when I'm looking for cheap. Like, taste still matters, but I wanted something with a 30-pack, and what they had was Busch. Well, Busch and Busch Light. I at least didn't get the light beer. So, that's a step in the right direction. So, it's been a week, and in true Just Wrench It fashion, I have accomplished nothing privately. All kinds of things professionally, but nothing privately. There's a thing going on at work. I took my glasses off, and now I can't read the chat. I wanted to rub my eyes. Now, of course, Mark decides to reply. Small compensation. That's all it takes sometimes. It doesn't sound like it's going to take up a whole bunch of your time, but who knows where this could lead in a few years. That's a good thing, Mark. And more people do need to get involved in their local government. If I had time, I keep telling myself I was gonna volunteer for the, not the election, the election pollsters, or whatever they call them. Volunteer for the Board of Elections to be a pollster, and I just never have. You get paid for the day. I would have to take it off, of course. But, yeah, I just, for whatever reason, I haven't had the wherewithal to actually see that through. But I keep telling myself I'm going to. So we'll see what happens in the future. Yeah, it's been a week. I just got back from the other side of Columbus, Pataskala, I believe it's pronounced. For the last couple of days, I was up there at one of the facilities. They're doing one of these. A bunch of important people are coming, so we want to get it looking as good as we can, and yada, yada, yada. And it's a big site, and the techs there are already kind of overwhelmed by the sheer volume of work that they have. So when something big like this comes up, they like to send in help. So I'm up there kind of organizing and just, sprucing. Really, it's a newer site. There's not much going on with it, but because it's newer, there's a lot of leftover construction materials, and we thought we needed 100 of these, and we only needed 5. So, those kind of things, just extra inventory and surplus. Organizing some of that, making it look nice. So I was up there for a couple days this week. I'm going to do the same thing again next week, unfortunately. So, I'll still make the live stream, I believe, but it kind of wears me down because, like, driving back from Columbus today because of traffic, and I have to go, well, I'm sure I don't have to, but I go straight through downtown, and I leave at a decent time, I would think, like 3:30 in the afternoon, but traffic is horrendous. I can't imagine what it would be like during actual rush hour. Ugh. So, yeah, it's been a week, and not super fun, but it is what it is. You know, I enjoy the projects, kind of like. Sometimes it feels like a hassle, but it's kind of nice to be doing like something a little different. It breaks the monotony a little bit. We'll say that. So, there's not too many people in here. There's literally 2 people in here. But my numbers have been kind of dwindling, and I get that. I'm not watching anybody else's stuff either. So I can't feel too bad about my numbers. And they're not the most important thing anyway. But I figured last week went really well. I renamed the stream this week for the first time in like months to let's take a look at our tools. Because that went really well last week. I ignore the chat like always, but at least this way you guys have something to see. There's something going on, something to spark conversation in the chat. And occasionally when I think about it, I will go over there and try to see what's going on, what people are saying. So, we're just going to hop into it and see how far we can get before we start running into the same stuff from last week. Okay, so here we are. Let me switch over. Here we are on our tools. Just to remind everybody, I am banned. They hate me, self-promotion or something like that. So I can't actually comment or really do anything in here or post. But I can view it. They can't stop me from looking. So, this is this guy. I wonder if this is the same guy. That seems like the same guy from last week. He says he found a Milwaukee recip. An old, pretty nice one from the looks of it. And he cleaned it up and redid it. That looks sweet. I wish I could comment. Maybe somebody else said something in the comments. Like, does he have a YouTube channel? Do we get to... Huh. I really wish he would say whether or not he's putting these on YouTube. Yeah. I would love to, because it looks like he's doing good work, right? It's, hold on. I'm gonna move this a bit. I'm not really centered up because of the way I got the camera. Adjust that a little bit. Okay, I feel better. It looks good. It looks really good. I would love to see what he's actually doing in terms of... Hold on, let's go to the picture. I want to zoom in. He even kept... Now, see, okay, this is weird. If you look here at the nameplate, kind of... Oh, you know what I... Ooh, well, how is it a better red there? Maybe it's something to do with the way that he took the picture or the lighting. Because this one does not look as red and as good. But that might just be like the filter on the photo or the lighting. But he even kept that, and it looks like it's in good condition. I will say, when you zoom in, you do see a lot more like pitting and stuff on this metal. It's not horrible. I mean, yeah, it's still an amazing job, but I guess from like the further back, and you still see some scratches and stuff in the plastic, but from a little, and it looked like burned up and charred, and there was paint on it. He did a really good job of saving this. You can see he actually pulled out the trigger I mean, he completely disassembled it, cleaned that up. The screws look, I don't know if they're the same, but he at least dressed them up. He did a really good job with this. And that's I mean, you guys see it. Like, if you saw this at the thrift store for $15, would you have the wherewithal to turn it back into this and then maybe resell it to somebody for a hot little profit? I don't know. That's pretty good, though. I like that. Dude's doing good work. And he had one or two on here last week. So this guy's, he better have a restoration channel. That's great stuff. What is this? It's older than me by a decade, but it looks almost great, almost brand new. Great $15 eBay investment. Machinery's Handbook, the 21st edition. Interesting. I mean, that's interesting. That's really interesting. I mean, I would think in machining, though, or it depends. I'm assuming they mean machining, but that could just be machinery in general. There's probably a lot of good information in there still. A lot of that stuff, I mean, unless you're talking about circuit boards and things like that, a lot of that's still relevant. That is one of the coolest bit holders I've ever seen. That's really, really cool. I like it. Looks like the guy 3D printed it. If your tools include a 3D printer, this is now your weekend project. That's really cool. I like that. If only they would sell something like that. I'd love to see that in like a dentist office or something. Oh, back to the chat. Bill Beckett has shown up. Thank you, sir. I work at whatever site they tell me to go to. Normally, I just work at one, but I will whore myself out to anyone that needs a hand. I do more projects and trainings than I do support. I have supported other sites in the past, but we have a bunch of people now in the region, and so when they need support, they can generally find it elsewhere. I'm usually for like trainings and projects and things like that, so it kind of works out. I don't get to travel as much as I shouldn't be traveling as much as I am, but I can still make it work for the time being, so I am. But I don't mind traveling. I do wish it was like places I hadn't been instead of all around this crappy state that I live in. But yeah, it's not too bad. And hopefully, eventually, this will turn into an actual promotion. Me being a company man all the damn time. I can remember when the Milwaukee twist lock cords were the cat's pajamas. Yeah. A lot of places still use twist lock. A lot of industrial. It's just better. It's safer. Things don't come unplugged easily. I like twist lock. Most of the time they function pretty well. Some of them, like when they're brand new, if people don't actually twist them a few times, like they don't really get broken in and they're kind of hard. But after you do it a few times, it usually loosens up a bit. What do we have here? Why to get quality tools. Almost 10 years old, regularly used, looking like new after some cleanup. Alright. Yeah, I'll buy that for $1. Because if you look at the cutting face here, you can see all the actual wear on the face. I mean, it does look like, I'll go out on a limb here, they're wire cutters. And dude is using them as wire cutters. There's no hammering, there's no cutting, tin or sheet steel or anything like that. It looks like he's actually been using them right. What do the handles look like? Yeah, he's not lying. The handles look really good. That's if you had told me to just look at these and guess the age, I would have guessed like a year, maybe 2. So yeah, I mean, he doesn't even have any real rust on him. He must have kept them like relatively oiled. See a little bit of pitting starting there, like from probably can't speak tonight. Oxidization. Is it a D or a T? Oxidation? Whatever. Anyhow, I don't speak English. It's my 5th language. Give me a break. But that's actually really good. And, I mean, it is just a pair of cutters, but think about that. How many pairs of cutters might one buy in like a 10-year period? In this case, 1. Probably paid a little more for them, but it looks like they've held up nice. So, that's nice, and that is Nipex. So, who would not expect that? Roll cart setup, not super interested in that. That's just basically looking at tools. Humble beginnings of my quality tool collection. It looks like some Wera and some Nipex. Yeah. These, I haven't had the pleasure of using these hex keys. I really do wonder, though, in like a greasy kind of maintenance environment, are these plastic sheaths, are they gonna come off? I mean, I think they're probably some kind of like heat shrink thing to some degree. But yeah, I've always kind of wondered that, but I've never heard the complaint that they fall off. And it might happen like long into their life, but it is what it is. That's a good point, Mark. I don't really like fat handles either, but sometimes they have like their place, I will say. But my grip is getting old. I'm actually kind of, in that aspect, I'm kind of happy I'm not doing like Bill's here. I'm happy I'm not doing a ton of like wrenching, because when I'm doing something for hours and hours, usually around like 3-4 hour mark, like my hands do start kind of cramping up. Now I'm getting old. I don't know, arthritis, carpal tunnel, take your pick. But it's I can still keep working, but it's like annoying and slightly painful. So I'm kind of happy I'm not doing like a crap ton of wrenching. New tool day. You can never have enough clamps. Holy hell. Kind are those? Let's go in for the kill. What do we see? Bessie? Oh, okay, Bessie. Yeah, those are really good clamps. I only know that because of Brad's workbench. It's the only reason that I know that piece of information. Because of Brad. I've only heard him and one of the other, Rex Kruger maybe, another woodworking YouTuber. I've heard him talk about Bessie clamps. Apparently, like top of the line, like pipe style clamps in that case. Smaller ones, I'm guessing here, like maybe just jig clamps and stuff, and then you got some bar clamps over here. That must be why the pipe here in the middle. So yeah, that's costly though. I don't know why he needs that many clamps. It must run like some kind of furniture making or like a fab shop or something. They are used more for like woodworking. That's a lot of money sitting right there. What in the hell is what? Huh? Chiseling stone. did this to a hammer? Oh, okay, like maybe just hitting the chisel? Something had to happen to that at some point, and a big chunk came out of it. Like, that doesn't look like wear. That looks like a break here. But then here, it does look like wear from like hitting a chisel. But this looks suspect. It's still kind of cool, but I'm doubting how much of this damage is actually from chiseling. That's interesting. Uh-oh. 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 Welder's Corner. Let's take a look at this. 7/16, 90 degree plus 15 degree offset. So, I don't know what that ends up being. Wow, that really doesn't zoom in any. I mean, it looks like, okay. It looks like, I don't think he cut it flat. He cut it at an angle, or he cut out a V, and he put it back together. It looks like he did a pretty good job welding it. I mean, obviously I can't see the other side and whatnot, but he ground it down. It looks nice and uniform. You still see some discoloration, but I bet it got him through what, wait, that does not say USA, does it? It says forged in USA, VV. Is that a Craftsman wrench? Uh-oh. Well, you're not getting that warranted. But that's interesting. Amos Cardoza is here. Welcome to the stream, sir. It's about time for actual beer. So let's get this thing started. This week, I have one other thing. If I make it far enough on the stream, then I'll open that one. But what we have here is a raspberry Springer. It's a raspberry golden ale from Yellow Springs Brewery, which, if you don't know, Yellow Springs is a little hippie town. It's further from me now where I'm at, but it's close to Dayton. It's like, I'm not even going to say it's on the outskirts. It's a ways away, like half an hour or something, out in the boonies. But it's a nice little hippie town. They got a bunch of nature reserves and trails and stuff. It's a really cool place. It's where Dave Chappelle's from, actually, and still lives there with his family. So, yeah, it's a cool place. But Yellow Springs Brewery, they make, I guess I didn't think this through. Let me get this in here. They make tons of, they have like one, like, okay, there's breweries, right? And they all kind of have their own style, sort of, you know, they're all a little different, but there's some, it's hit or miss, you know, like, they got a good one, that one's not so good. Yellow Springs Brewery is one of the only breweries that it almost doesn't matter what you pick up or what you personally have a taste for, you're gonna like it. Like, they make some really, hold on, my boss is messaging me. What? We have so many forums, venues, or ways to message people. Hold on, 2 seconds. Work related, it's about money. All right, sorry about that. And there's a train a coming. But yeah, Yellow Springs Brewery, if you ever do, I don't know. I'm sure they shoot their stuff out, to different locations. Probably not that far. But if you ever do see some around, like Mark might, he's kind of in the Midwest area here, it's well worth it. Everything they make is delicious. I wish I just got fired. You kidding me? Give me a vacation, even if it's an extended one. Okay, so enough about this wrench. But yeah, that's a prime example. I mean, usually Harbor Freight and not Craftsman, but Craftsman's still on the lower end of the scale, all right. And now he's got that 90-degree angle wrench to use later. Let's see. Nipex. I foolishly... Here's another one. Here's another one, guys, just like last week. I foolishly let a coworker borrow my end-cutting pliers, and they vanished into the ether, so I decided to upgrade. Nipex 99-220. Concreters Nippers. When life gives you lemons, buy more Nipex. Now, okay. I thought this was going to go the other way. I thought he was going to say that it got chipped or something. It's not the Nipex. What he lent out was some other lower quality tool. And this is the way, right? We discussed this last week. Don't loan out your good tools. Don't do it, even to your best bud, because when he screws them up, he's going to have to buy you some new ones. Or if he's a good friend. Hey, Doug, what's going on, buddy? Nice to see you. Doug, I know I haven't seen you in a little while. I haven't been watching anything. It's not personal. It's literally not personal. I haven't really been watching anybody's stuff. Kind of in my own little world, doing my thing. Trying to get the life in order and all that stuff and balancing work. Haven't had a lot of time. So I will say I have been sucking it up. I don't know what's going on out there in tool land. And that's why tonight we are drinking beer and we are browsing our tools on Reddit so that we can see what people are up to and what they're posting about what. Okay, that's a Craftsman adjustable channel lock. That's a really small set, but that does not look smaller than like my snap-ons. That's a good 4, maybe 4.5, 5 inch. Yeah, I will say there are smaller ones. Snap-on makes them. Nipex has what? Isn't that like a 3-inch set of Cobras or something they got? The little dinky suckers. Yeah, so yes. People do make smaller ones. You are not special. Those are old, though. Those are older. So for their age, they were a pretty cool tool. But we've upgraded since then. Something. Old Impact as a tip. A Makita. Or... Oh, okay. It's the blue one on the bench. That's actually the... I'm guessing that looks like the older one of the two. Old Makita as a gift. Okay, that's cool. Somebody gave you a tool. What is this? Is this the God? Oh, what's the name? Oh, that one that everybody talks about. It's not Koken. It's the other one. Knee Pros. Is that the Knee Pros? What's that say? I don't think that's Knee Pros. What? Can I zoom in more? Yeah, okay, that is Knee Pros. This, I don't think is. Or, I mean, it might be. I've not seen it, and the finish doesn't match. Knee Pros is all about their, like, super chrome. I have a hard time believing that they made this. Huh. Interesting. I do like that. It's like I'm guessing it's a ratchet. on, like a crow's foot ratchet, basically. Kind of weird, but in this case, that guy wouldn't have had to cut and weld his own wrench, assuming that could fit into the space. Okay, maybe it is knee pros, because I mean, obviously we know this is, but they're kind of making it sound like it is. Top RH3, hey. They tell, yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look that up some other time. Both made in Japan, but he doesn't say, okay, Top must be their own brand, because he's saying Top and knee pros. So, I don't know. I've never heard of Top, though. It's interesting, to say the least. What's going on in the chat? Everybody's saying hi to Amos. Yeah, Doug says he's been busy, too. And I will say this. I've noticed, because I see, like, I'm not on Instagram a lot, and they're trying to, entice me to get back on, I guess, a little more than I have been. And I have seen a couple people post and Instagram come on and be like, so-and-so, insert account name here, posted for the first time in a while. So I know it's not just me. I think everybody's just hoping that the damn mask mandates and all this COVID stuff finally ends and we can, like, get back to life. Plus, it is spring. We made it through winter. That was crap, and at least up here. And hopefully, the better weather just kind of makes people happier and they get out and do some stuff. Here we are. Somebody bought the 3 1/4, basically. 3 3/8. Little Xylop Mini. Looks like it's a quarter and a hex bit at the same. It's a bit driver and it has a 1/4 inch adapter on it. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like that a lot. My HVAC is making weird noises. That's awesome. It's great when I do that because it's like in a closet area, like right next to my room. So when it's doing that, like 4 a.m., it freaks me the hell out because I wake up thinking like a plane's crashing on my apartment. Stanley planer that almost looks like a same or similar one from last week. Nothing too fancy there. Top Drawer Tuesday. He's got his meds in there. That's to keep him from choking people. What the hell? That's a really small square. But you must work at like a Japanese company or one of these others because it's all millimeters. I actually, at my last job, I would have killed for one of... Well, I had a scale, but like a little square like this would have been nice because we did everything in millimeters. And, well, the work-wise, but like fabrication, you could do whatever, however you want to measure, but it still would have came in handy. That's cool. That's almost like pocket size. I like that. Brad's Workbench stopping by. Good to see you, sir. Hope everything is well. Yeah. I don't know what you've been up to too much. I've been trying to keep up a little. Saw a live stream, what was that, like a week or two ago? You did all off the cuff, like in the middle of the daytime or something. I was there for a while hanging out. Yeah, I'm going to have to, man, I might... it's about that time. I know you had messaged me a while back about, woodworking projects and things. It might be about time for me to get like a decorative piece or something because I look around my apartment And while I don't care that it looks like a guy lives here, obviously, alone with no decorating sense, I might need like a piece. So I'll start thinking about that, and I'll shoot you a message if I come up with any ideas. I don't even know what or where, just something. Maybe more along the lines of like a turning. I know you make some nice like cutting boards and stuff like that. I can't say I specifically need one, but I was thinking more like a decorative piece. So maybe like a bowl or a vase or something. We'll come up with something. But I will get a hold of you soon. I own at least one toolbox. Yeah, I would hope so. I think we all own at least one. Do my file cabinets count as toolbox? Okay, that's an ad. Uh-oh. Is this an ad? No, this is not an ad. This is a guy using one of those surface pressure washer tools to clean his driveway. And, I mean, yeah, people, like, really don't... It's not magic, people. I mean, it seems like it, but it's not. All it literally is high-pressure water getting all the gunk and grime that's built up on the cement. And it does. It makes a huge difference. I pressure washed the sidewalks and the driveway. Well, the driveway's blacktop, but I still pressure washed it all before I rented out my house. And just a little bit of water and some pressure, it's a night and day difference. Your deck, your walkways, your driveway, especially if it's concrete, it's worth pressure washing some stuff. So if you haven't already, what kind of fuckery, sorry Bill, is this? Dear God, how many zip ties did you waste? And that's not food grade. No. 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 And no. Some things should not be made with zip ties. Like, I do know some people that do like the wire loom with them, you know, where that you wrap one around all the wires and then you do smaller ones in between them, kind of like spark plug wires for like when you've lost all your little runners to make them look pretty. That's really cool. That's ingenious. It looks all right. This has something to do with methamphetamines, I'm sure. Like, that's just a horrible idea. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Doug, and you're right. It depends on what you're talking about specifically, but yeah, you couple a pressure washer with some good degreaser or some cleaner appropriate for the, you know, the medium of your surface, and yeah, you can do amazing things, like night and day differences. It's just crazy. Especially like engines. I've seen a lot of guys use like low pressure, you know, power washers and degreaser and things on engines, and that grime just comes right off. From TV cart to food cart, my little welder has a new home. So wait, what? This was a TV cart? It doesn't look like a TV cart. That looks like some legit stuff. I'm wondering now, looking at this, how much of this he fabricated. Or is that this? Yeah, maybe this is not the project. Maybe that's the TV cart. Okay, I think I'm right on that. Well, he doesn't know how to make the subject of the picture stand out. I mean, I guess the description is supposed to lead you over there, but the shiny metal thing and him talking about a welder made it sound like he was making the cart. No, that's pretty cool. He didn't do much to it. It looks like he put Maybe put that wire rack on there and some hooks and things. But no, that is pretty decent. It looks like he's got 2 grinders on there and his little Harbor Freight Special. It's not too hateful. Oh, beer. This raspberry's really good. It's a golden ale. So it's really smooth by nature with just like a hint of raspberry. It's not super sweet. Just a little fruity kick at the end. Tool aficionados. We're having to cut down cardboard roll cores at work every day. And the tool we're using isn't cutting it. Pick 2. Any ideas? Oh. Okay. That's the tool you're using? That's a bad idea. It's a bad idea. It's just, that's... Dear God. I don't know how big. I'm guessing that's pretty big. It looks pretty thick. That's some thick cardboard. But nah, man. You ain't, no. You need like you need that little mini saw I have. I forget what they call it. I call it a toe kick, but it's not a toe kick. It's just basically a mini circular saw, but you can get them with the flush blades that are offset. And that might not get you super close. It gets you probably closer than that with hopefully a flatter edge, I would think. Obviously, he's not watching the stream, but that's my idea. Definitely not a wood blade on a drill. That's how you lose fingers. That's a glory hole. Yeah. Stick your finger in there and see what happens. Ooh, a turned candle holder. That's a good idea, Mark. That is a good idea. Although, most of these damn things come in glass, or at least the good ones like Yankee, they all come in glass. Maybe make it more like a pedestal. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Harbor Freight cart filled with expensive tools. I do like... Okay, we're going to look at this one. We're actually going to look at this one. Come on, pull it up. Alright, dude has some foam that he did some cutout in for the Weras and the headlight and the Milwaukee tape measure. There's some safety glasses up there. That looks like the Tecton crow's feet. Alright, man. Yeah, I approve of this message. You actually... This is probably the level of organization that's my peak. That's my pinnacle. That's probably the best, and that's a stretch. It'll look like that in between projects sometimes, but not all the time. That's probably my best case scenario. And everything else is piled up in another toolbox somewhere else. Like, I need the foam or else I can't keep anything in order. That's not bad, though. I do like what he did there. It's kind of simple. Two Snap-on and a Craftsman. Some guy's selling some stuff. Started at $8K. And he's down to $5K. Well, it's an old Snap-on double bank that can't be more than like 46 inches. It's old, and it doesn't look super good. I wouldn't mind the Craftsman's on top, but it's this little bastard side piece it's got to be bolted on, right? Oh, I'm not going to be able to really zoom this one. That's got to be bolted on, and that's Craftsman, it looks like. Yeah, that's a big no on that. There's no way. Yeah, I wouldn't even pay $2K. I wouldn't. Because I could get a newer, better box of even Snap-on for probably about the same. 2K, 1700 sometimes. There's a lot of guys getting out of the auto trades around here all the time. Like, it might as well be a revolving door. Princess Jamie has stopped by and graced us with her presence. Thank you for stopping by. We are drinking beer, of course, as always. And actually, today we have real content that's not 80s music. And we are going through our tools on Reddit. And looking around and seeing what everyone is doing and talking about and saying. It gives me something to do and something for you guys to look at. So, here's another one. Top Drawer Tuesday. This isn't too bad. It's mostly socket rails. I could accomplish that. Everything else, for the most part, seems to have inserts. I'm not saying that's Snap-on, but oh, that's a gear wrench? That's a nice gear wrench set that comes with that insert. It looks like it comes with that. That's sweet. Everyone's starting to try to do that, but man, I guess it's kind of nice, but you got to watch it because that starts taking up lots of space in your toolbox real quick. Those look like gear wrench too now that I look at it. And they are 120 XP. The flexes, he's got so he's got the solid, and then he's got the flex 4-pack. That's pretty nice. That's a bunch of good stuff. I'm not hating on this guy. Lots of Milwaukee on the power tools, at least the 12 volt. He's got the ratchet there. This guy knows what he's doing. All right, we're not hating on him. And the lime green toolbox. I'm betting that's can barely see. Yeah, it looks like AL General. Yeah, AL. So that's US General. Yeah, so not bad. He knows how to spend his money wisely. He's not buying everything Snap-on. He is buying the Milwaukee. Gear Wrench is a respected brand. Looks like he has some of the better socket rails, and he's tried to organize them pretty well. Yeah, all in all, that's pretty good. I could probably do that level of organization because most of it there is done for you. Hold on, stop the presses. We gotta talk about something. And somebody's probably addressed it, but I ain't watching no video, so. What in the, is Bill still here? Yeah, Bill's still here. What in the flapjack is Harbor Freight doing, putting out a 24 karat gold icon ratchet? Somebody, please tell me why. I haven't looked into it. I haven't looked it up. I've just seen it from people posting it, talking about it, and it makes me laugh my ass off. People don't want to buy icon to begin with, and then you're gonna if we dip it in gold, which it's not dipped in gold. I used to do gold plating, and it's not dipped in gold. Maybe there are some cases where it could actually be certified 24K or something, but anyhow, it's just like a thin, you could not, it's not a measurable amount of gold or anything that goes on. It's basically just coloring. No, I don't think it was an April Fool's joke. No, I don't think it was. People were posting it like they had it. Or at least what I saw. Like I said, I didn't look into it. And if it was an April Fool's joke, then it still isn't that funny because nobody would buy that shit. Hold on. Sorry about that. I heard a big thud. And it's an apartment building, so that's kind of normal, but it was larger than normal. And I had to go make sure my daughter didn't, like, fall off of her bunk bed or something. So, yes, she is still alive and still awake at 9:20 or whatever it is. Upsetting. So I told her to go to sleep. Where was I? Ah, yes, 24 karat gold turd. Man, just they'd have been better off coming out with like something off that little meme coupon page that one dude posted. Like a pneumatic hammer or, you know, whatever. Like, they would have been better trying to, like, bastardize some tool if that really was an April Fool's joke. That's a horrible one, because I just laughed at it. Not even because I thought it was funny, but because some dumbass would actually pay more money for that. It looked pretty legit, though. Now I'm going to have to look it up. Now I got to go over here and look it up, because now you got me wondering. Okay, icon ratchet. Yeah. When was that? 5 days ago? Okay, it was posted after April Fool's Day. I'm not gonna watch an April Fool's or YouTube video. What's this? There's a fucking picture of it. Oh, sorry, Bill. I'm trying really, really hard here. Is it real? And even if it is, who cares? Like, Jesus. It's real, says some dude on YouTube. And this dude, people are posting it like they got it. So, I'm guessing, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's real. What? Man, listen. If you're so proud of your Harbor Freight tools that are what are they at this point, like 2 years old or something? If you're so proud of your 2-year-old tool line that you bought the 24K gold version for no apparent reason, I got no hope for you. Like, you just close up shop now. Because you're obviously going the wrong direction. Tools are tools. And now the Snap-on and some of like the little gift sets, like they'll do something limited edition, you know, something special. Still not a super fan. I wouldn't buy them. I can see why people do. But Icon, no. That's like, I can't think of any other. It's like, I mean, okay, I'm not dogging Work Pro. I love Work Pro. But that's like Work Pro doing a 24 karat gold set of scissors or something, like, or wire cutters, or, you know, like, insert stupid here. Like, why? You're a discount tool brand. Who's spending extra money on gold? Like, no. And I haven't been looking at the chat. What do the people say about it? Doyle over Icon. Yep. I mean, if you're gonna buy something nice, and it's like the whole Dewalt thing, right? And this is, I'm still not a super fan of Dewalt, but they work. They do. They are contractor grade for sure. They're professional tools. Still not saying they're the best, but they're decent. Okay, but like the majority of all power tools, unless you start getting into like really bargain basement level, are a literal hop, skip, and a jump from Dewalt prices. Or God forbid Ryobi. I know Ryobi's not quite, and people don't claim that they're in the same category. I think they are. I've used them for a long time. Whatever. We differ in opinion. But Ryobi, I think, is the one caveat that where you can be in that and be content depending on what you do. And, you got a lower cost option. But pretty much everything else is the Bauer line. It's for a little bit more, when you catch a sale or something, you could get DeWalt. Why would you not? Like, I don't understand it. Like, how... That's the problem, is like the market. And like people overvaluing their stuff. Or they're just spending too much in the manufacturing or whatever they're doing, and they got to get the costs back. But like, the prices just don't match the product. The Bauer, I gave that one to Scott, and there's Scott. He just got into the chat, at least for the first time I saw. I gave the one to Scott. Scott's got the Bauer drill, and he'll tell you he's probably used it now a little bit. And he's telling everybody he made a Husky video. So, oh, yep, go put the girls down. Take it easy, Brad. Thank you for stopping by. Brad's got the Bauer drill that I bought. Tore apart. Took a look at the innards. Put it back together. It still works. Warranty is void at this point, probably. I don't know. Depends on if they look into it. But it's a solid drill. There's nothing really wrong with it. It's not DeWalt quality, though. It's just not. The plastic's not the same grade, thickness, any of that. It's still decent, but it's not the same. And $59, give or take, discounts and all that stuff, for a drill and a battery, you catch a good deal on a DeWalt. You could be in a DeWalt for like, what, $10, $15 more? I don't see it. And that's the problem, is everybody wants to say, well, these people make this product, and now we make this product, same product, generally. So ours should be in the same price range as that. No. There's Ferrari, and there's Acura Integra. There's differences, There's a Subaru, and then there's a Maserati. Like, they're different. They just are. There's build quality differences. There's material differences. It's just easier to see in these bigger, higher cost items because you see the differences in the design and the quality of materials a little more. Cars, because of the features mainly. And, the styling on the body. You don't, quite know. But who spends all that time on a really nice body and engine and all of this, and then throws some crap-ass suspension on it that's toothpicks and JB Weld? Like, nobody does that, right? But that's what a lot of these tool companies do. They make the body look pretty good, but then inside, you don't know what you got. And 90% of people never take their tools apart to really see what they're made of, which is why those videos do so well on YouTube. For like people like AVE, when he's dissecting these and telling a layperson what's going on with the internals of the circuitry and how the MOSFETs on this one are inferior to that one, and how, just like with the ratchet I did in the Milwaukee, and I was even stunned by this. There's a huge circuit board in there considering what's actually going on inside that ratchet. And if you look at the other similar ratchets, the Tac Life and the Chemo, there's not any real circuitry in those. There's some MOSFETs to do the switching and stuff, but there's nothing else. Like, that circuit board does a lot of stuff. It's over voltage protection, it's short circuit protection most likely. It does some other things. Probably tries to make the battery run more efficiently and some things. Like, it does some stuff. It has a purpose. They wouldn't put it in there for no reason. So when you look at, like, for the biggest disparity in my mind was the Chemo. And that's funny because I like the Chemo the most personally. It's the one I've used the most out of all of them. But I would have said I would pick the Chemo before I opened them. And even after I opened them, I still like the chemo. It still functions. But the Milwaukee's going to last longer, chances are, and is going to be more efficient because of the circuitry and the sophistication inside. And you just don't see that. And a lot of that, especially in terms of that ratchet, doesn't come across in the product information. It doesn't really tell you that you're getting all of this extra stuff. They kind of gloss over some of that, probably because it's more boring and not crucial to the operation of the tool. But if you really look into it, there's vast differences. So Harbor Freight doesn't need to put 24 karat gold on something. They need to just make better tools and try to keep the prices low. Like, find the balance. Do that. That's fine. But trying to, like, say your Snap-on or come out with a 24 karat gold ratchet because some of the higher end come, it's not fooling anybody. It's clown shoes. That's all that is. Here's a guy like Brad, who is no longer with us. Like Brad, who is apparently making some of his own woodworking hand tools. I don't know if he's forging the blades. Shop made hand plane and plane floats. Gave myself tennis. Yeah. Okay, he filed these down. He says I can't zoom in anymore, but he made a couple of those, more like saws they look like, and then this. That's not bad. And it looks like, I mean, I don't know how the adjustment goes on the blade there, but it looks like it does some pretty good shaving on the hand plane. That's pretty cool. I mean, I don't know if he made these. I'm assuming that he did. It looks like he did, and it looks like he's got some others back here, but those look like they're bought and not made. These look like they're made. So, interesting there. If you don't have the tool, make it. Simple as that. Hold on. Let's see what Bill's talking about. There's like 10,000 different brands of tools now and 100 different manufacturers actually building them. Same manufacturer, just all different brand names on them. Who knows what you're getting? Yeah, Scott, dead on the money. And that's why a lot of us YouTubers do what we do in terms of tool reviews, teardowns, and things like that. Because, yeah, you just really never know. I mean, Tesla, oh God, think about that. Think about Tesla when they were first coming out with cars. And I mean, Elon Musk was still like a very popular person. There was still a lot going on with him. You know, he wasn't near as popular, I guess you would say, as he is now. Kind of proven track record and all of that stuff. But when he was first coming out with them damn cars, it was a big fucking deal. And there was only a few people buying them. To the point to where, what documentary was it? I think it was called The Revenge of the Electric Car. It was a sequel. Because the first one they were talking about how they killed, what was it? Was it a Saturn? I want to say it was a Saturn. The SCV-1 or whatever it was. Whatever it was. Somebody's going to quote me and fix me on this. But whatever that car was. They wouldn't let people buy those. They scrapped them. Like they leased them. You couldn't buy it. Even famous people saying, I'll pay you whatever you want. Let me buy it. No. They came and took them and scrapped them. That was like way back when. But everybody said they were great. Like literally were raving about them. People wanted them. They wouldn't let them have them. So that was the death of the electric car. Then in Revenge of the Electric Car, Tesla was gaining popularity, or at least trying to, and actually trying to put out cars. And it had a meeting between Elon Musk somewhere in California, wherever their showroom was, with Elon Musk and like the 15 people or whatever that had placed orders for these first Tesla cars and were like still waiting. And so, like, when there was a delay or, like, a deadline was missed, which was really often, right, at that point, because it's a huge undertaking, really building something from scratch like that. Like, to start the whole process up, it can be a nightmare. So, there are going to be delays. So, when there were delays, these, like, 15 people or whoever, I exaggerate, I'm sure, but they would literally have a meeting in the showroom with Elon Musk, like, right there. Like, right in front of him, talking to them directly, like, guys, like, and he's telling them, he's not bullshitting them, he's telling them, this robot on this specific part of the process was a little more trickier than we thought. It took us a while to dial it in, so that put us behind on the... Like, he's literally informing them of, like, this is what's up. This is how much longer you think we're at. In person, in front of them. And, like, those early adopters. Like, man, it's a whole different world. But, like, you get a lot more clout. I mean, now, if there's, where they're at now, there's no meeting with Elon Musk because your Model 3's a little late because something happened. You know what I mean? It's those early times in the startup where you start to see things like that and people really putting themselves out there. But, it's like that thing, to look at something and think that it has intrinsic value for a specific purpose or reason or whatever have you. But now it's super, like, accepted and popular, but there's so many benefits to being an early adopter, but quality is important. Like, you just can't overlook it. Most people don't know what they're getting. And those people were taking a chance, because there's been a couple of, like, weird little car companies that have tried to do the same thing or similar, kind of economic vehicles. Elio Motors was supposed to be one. That was a scam. And I'll tell you, I almost put money down on one of those things between you and me. And that's the little 3-wheeled, 2 in the front, 1 in the back, weird thing. 2-seater, I think it sit 2 people. It looked like a pod on wheels. You can look it up. They did exist. They just never really got production rolling. Like, it's dead in the water. And whoever put money down, I'm sure, to some degree, lost all or most of whatever it was like. I think you basically had to buy the damn thing. It was, like, close to full price you had to put down. It was like $3,000 or something. And I almost did. Like, in the early times when it still sounded kind of hopeful. And then I didn't. And then I kept up on it. And they just kept failing. Like, failing and failing. Slingshot? Ooh, yeah, wasn't that a thing? Yeah, I think I remember those. That was like the motorcycle car kind of thing, right? Well, like kind of like Can-Am Spiders and T-Rexes, right? I think something along those lines. But yeah, that's a huge thing. And I mean, it's a gamble when you're taking a chance on a company that may or may not be able to follow through. But think about those people. Those first people to get Teslas. Like, they waited and they were patient and they went through whatever delays and all that. But how cool that must have been to be like one of the first people driving a Tesla around. Because they're sweet cars. I don't really specifically remember how the first model, whatever that was, compares to like what we have now. But still, it's bragging rights. It's a cool talking point. I'm sure, lots of people were asking him about it. Like that would be a really cool thing, especially if you were into electric vehicles. So that's huge bragging rights. But we gotta read some chat here and then try to get back on track. I'm probably getting into Tesla when I buy a house and have a commute. I will say this. I went to this Amazon facility today, right? And the parking area is actually inside, right? It's like inside. And I, I'm still not sure on this. I don't know. I'm going to say I don't know because obviously it works, right? But homegirl had a Volt and I parked next to it, like one space away. And she's right by a column. And some of these columns, because it's inside, actually have outlets on them. Don't ask me why, but they do. So, chick has her Chevy Volt plugged in, like, by the thing, by the hood, and then, like, one of these big, like, power inverters, I'm guessing, of some kind, or maybe it's the one that comes with the car, I don't know, and then that plugged into the thing, she's charging her car while she's at work. Like, I mean, I get it, but I guess, ooh, maybe she's, like, just legit trying to save the money on the charging costs, right? Because she's charging it at work, she's not paying for that electricity. Maybe that's her plan? I don't know. Quite interesting, but I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know there was a 120 to, I mean, I knew somehow it ran on 120, but I thought you needed this big thing to charge them. Apparently it's just as easy as like a few $100 inverter or whatever, and you can charge the car. I guess. I don't have Volt. I don't know anyone that has a Volt, but that seems weird to me because they talk about, oh, we need all this infrastructure to put in charging stations. Like, apparently not. This chick figured it out. Like, I'm not going to say that's the most efficient way to charge the vehicle, but it's charging. Oh, what's going on in the comments? I also have a tap set from Snap-on. Wait. A tap set from Snap-on made by Is that right? Made by Irwin? At auction cheaper than the Irwins. Wait. Snap-on made a tap set for Irwin? Or vice versa? Irwin made a tap set for Snap-on? That seems disingenuous, man. I'm not saying Irwin's bad, but when I think of like high quality taps, I don't think Irwin. So I don't know why Snap-on would want to put their name on it. That's weird. They still make the slingshot mark? Do they? Uh-oh. Build over bot's gone. Uh-oh. Irwin makes the taps, Backwood says. That's weird. I find that utterly strange. That's... okay. We won't get into it. Let's get back to some of the Reddit. Looks like Princess Jamie might have ducked out. I'm not sure. I can't see the view count on this. I haven't added it to this screen. So I don't know how many of you there are. What is this old power tool? Oh, we got a fresh one here, guys. What the heck is that? I can't see the end of it. I would think it's like no. I don't know, maybe. I was thinking air hammer, but this is not. You can see the motor, and it looks like there's some kind of gear reduction of some sorts. I don't know. What do people say? What do people say about this? That's, yeah, see, power hammer, jackhammer. That's kind of what I thought. Okay, someone's saying like a paintbrush cleaner, basically. Like it rotates. I don't know. I think we're losing this one, guys. I have no idea. Someone said it looks like a light. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's weird. That's an odd one. We don't have enough information. Dewalt tool storage. What is this for? Table saw fence slot. Clamps, blocks, stoppers, all kinds of stuff. Oh wow, this dude's still doing it. He's still going through his garage. This time it's fish tapes and assorted electrical tools and, well, assorted electrical tools, linemen's pliers. What else we got? Some Klein cable cutters, the big boys. Really old circuit finders, some non-contact testers, outlet testers, lots of non-contact testers. See, people like this get me wondering, like, what... If you know you have a couple no-contact testers, right? Non-contact testers, whatever you want to call them. If you know you have a couple of these, why do you keep buying them? Why? Well, I guess I can't bitch. I have plenty of ratchets, and I still buy ratchets. I haven't been buying any recently, but I do, for no reason. So, okay, I take back my comment. Somebody is now on Team Red. Looks like they got the little 1/4-inch impact, but it's the M18, so that's pretty good. And some big-ass batteries. What in the hell? Okay, yeah. Dude's all about some vices. Looks like he's trying to work on this one. That's that guy, it looks like. I think that's that guy. Rust Warrior or whatever. He's got the thing, but his name's like Hammer. Some. I think that's the restoration guy that posts all those other pictures. This guy bought a bunch of Klein stuff. Now I will say, even the best electrician, I'm not too hip on Klein meters. I haven't used them. I've seen them. A couple of guys use them. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm industrial maintenance. I go fluke. And I know most electricians go fluke. I don't know why anyone would buy a Klein multimeter. Klein hand tools? Sure. All day long. Klein hand tools are great. But like the multimeter, I'm going fluke. That's what's in my toolbox at work. Just don't cheap out on some things, right? Old compound miter saw. It's pretty cool looking. See how far we've come, how basic they used to be. Pretty cool though. I like it. What in the world? Oh, improvised paint gun holder. That's not a bad idea. If you can, do that. If you have a 2x4 other thing to clamp to, that's not a bad idea. I like that. Sometimes it's like the little things, man. Like some people go out and buy all this stuff, and sometimes you can just make do with things that you have, and it works just fine. I'm going to go grab another beer. This one is a little different, so we'll see how this goes. Alright, folks. We're getting fancy. This one ain't gonna fit in the shot, but we're gonna try to make it. It's a New Belgium, which is a very good brewery. And it's I can't pronounce it. Fernandito Grand Reserve. It's a very special beer. It's a sour ale. This is where it gets interesting. Sour ale, right? Aged in Fernet barrels with coca husks. So it should have some chocolate notes in the sourness. I'm very interested in seeing how this goes, because they only had a few of them, and my guy Brian down at the Cellar by it's either bottle 21 or bottle 121. It's a very long name. Everyone just calls it the Cellar. The guy down there, I've known him now for a couple of years. He gives me great recommendations. And usually if something's not that great, he'll be like, it's okay, it's nothing special, or they could have done better. He'll be honest with you. And he said this one is really interesting, and I'd probably like it. I definitely smell the cocoa. Oh, that's interesting. It's sour, and then it just has like a smooth finish. Interesting. All right. Yeah, that's worth it. Get a couple of pint glasses out of this bottle. It's really weird. Like, it's got an earthy taste, like with the sour. Tastes, I don't know. It's hard to put it. Like, the sour's real mellow because of all the other flavor in it. It's a really good one. Well worth it. All right. Ordered this patch from Milwaukee Swag. This evening, my 10-year-old daughter says, Mom, I saw... So, Mom... Wait, what? So, Mom, I saw your counterfeit Milwaukee chair in the garage a few weeks ago. We had a talk about why I was looking for counterfeit merch specific to the company I work for. Gotta admit, it's a proud mom moment. Okay, there's a lot going on there, and I don't understand all of it. But, yeah, Milwaukee patch on a red chair. It looks kind of like a barbershop chair, sort of. Like, that's obviously repurposed from somewhere. Wet saw, it looks like. I'm guessing that's a wet saw, or... No, that blade looks too coarse to be a... Okay, maybe it's just, that's the box, radial saw? Okay. Alright. It's just old, and that's kind of what's going on with it, I guess. That's like the stand. My, how far we've come. What in the world? My electrician buddy got a new screwdriver. It's one of those little adjustment screwdrivers you get with some things for like the little potentiometers and things that they have, the analog switches and adjustments on some products. Advertisement. Cleaning laser. I want one of those. I can't afford one of those, and I have no use for one of those, but I want one of those just so I can play with it. Who's slow on the chat? Am I slow on the chat? What did I miss? heading out to do some more Jeep work. Got to tune my brakes. Okay. It was nice of you to stop by. Jamie, definitely appreciate it. Renegade says he bought a Klein DVOM when my good one messed up. I can't say I like it, but it does work. Yeah, I'm not saying it doesn't work. I just, even way back when I was in school, like, what? Oh, I said something. I think my teacher said, like, well, what kind of meter or something do you have at work? Because I pulled out the Fluke, and I was like, never seen one of these before. And he's like, oh, well, like, you know, the whole, like, you shouldn't use anything else, He's like, well, what do you have at work? And honestly, and this is between you, me, and the wall, honestly, I'm pretty sure, like, we only had a handful of meters, and everybody shared toolboxes. So I bought some relatively cheap something on Amazon, you know, some decent, just run-of-the-mill meter, Chinese piece of crap, let's face it. And I was using that. I didn't have to use it, like, daily or anything, but if I did need it, I would, you know, use that. And it did okay for what I needed, but it wasn't ideal. And so he's like, basically damn near smacked me. And go get a Fluke. Go tell him buy you a Fluke, whatever. Like, don't use that shit. Like, you need a good meter. If you're gonna become a good technician, you're gonna be able to diagnose electrical faults and problems. You need a good meter that you can trust. You have to have a Fluke. And that's held true, like, through a lot. I mean, could you get by with something else? Yes, probably. But do you want to trust your life to anything but the best? No. So, you know, it's like jack stands. Same thing. You know, everybody, the Harbor Freight recall happened and everybody starts running in to return theirs, you know, or whatever. And what are you going to do? Wait for another replacement set? Like, nah. Just give me my money back. I'm going to put that towards, like, something more expensive and better, more secure. That's the thing. When your life's on the line or it's a piece of safety equipment, like, and that's what one of the guys at work, we were just doing electrical certification / safety, and I'm not an instructor, I'm an evaluator. They were talking about meters and things, and I think at some point he referred to it as like a tool. He's like, well, you know, if you can't use the tool right or whatever. And he said that. And I said, you know, this isn't a tool. This is part of your PPE. Right? And I know that sounds stupid, and you got to remember where I'm working and what kind of environment it is, but, like, I want him to understand that distinction. Just like jack stands, they are not a tool. They do something, but they're not a tool. That's a piece of safety equipment that your life could very well depend on. You don't cheap out on safety equipment. You don't. So just like the meter, it's a piece of safety equipment. You're using that not only to diagnose, but if you cut off a breaker and then you go to test the circuit, you want to make sure this thing works right. Not only does it work right, but you know how to use it to make sure that you're safe in doing what you're about to be doing. Like, it is a tool, it has some functions, but primarily it's a piece of safety equipment. That's just it. That's how you have to look at it. And if it's a piece of safety equipment, I want the best that I can get. Like, that's just it. Matco Toolbox is a beauty. Oh yeah, Matco does make some nice toolboxes. CP has some, doesn't he? He's real big into his Matco. Yeah, I like the Matco stuff. Oh, it's time for the nightly meeting. I don't have to go to this one, though. Shut up. I'm not going to be on it. The day shift meeting I was on, and that was all of like 15 minutes, so I already know what he's going to say. Oh, 3 rules: no wishing for death, no falling in love, no bringing back dead people. I wish the torque wrench would moan instead of click when hitting the specified torque. The genie then says, there are 4 rules. That's funny. I will say, and I probably talked about this a couple weeks ago, I'm not a huge fan of the digital torque wrench. The only benefit is that you can quickly change, the torque settings. Other than that, it really doesn't stop you. You have to stop yourself. I do not think they may be more intrinsically accurate, but they are not more actually accurate. I would dare say, maybe somebody will do this video, client graphics, that the digital is not as accurate because you have to stop it, right? Like, you have to stop applying force when the beep, 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 when the beeps happen, right? You have to disengage, right? When you have a click style, right? Or even the old style, what do they call it? Like the bar style. When you have those, like, you're either looking at the dial as you're doing it and like watching it, or the click style, you're pulling until you feel it give. And once you feel it give, it's already kind of broken your momentum and you know to stop. Like, it seems like it's easier. I would almost bet if you took not the same person, because it's going to be biased then. Take different people with a digital and a click style, right? Like 3 or 4 people or whatever you could muster, and you checked the torque spec that it's actually hitting when you torque something down. I bet that the click style would be more accurate. You would have a more steady torque spec of applied torque versus a digital torque wrench. So all these torque Nazis out there that have a digital torque wrench and that's what they use, I bet they're not as Nazi-ish as they think because they're actually not torquing to spec. Now, do I think in most cases that's going to be a huge deal? Probably not. Nobody's hearing that beep and then like pulling on it very hard. Like, it's not going to be a huge disparity. But I think I would be willing to bet that the click style is more accurate. Okay, what is this, ladies and gentlemen? Made in Oh my God, can I fucking talk today? Jeez. Made in USA, JIS, I don't know what that means, JIS, and 5mm slotted. JIS. Is that a kind of screwdriver? Who is this? Park Tool? And they took the time to throw it on some like half-beaten blacktop and got some grass in the shot. Like, that's a pretty good, that's Instagram quality tool pics there. I don't know. Anybody know anything about these? Insulated tools are both a piece of safety equipment as well as the tool. Yeah, and like Amazon, the company I work for, if you're doing anything in a box, and obviously you've had to do lockout and arc flash dressing and all that to get to this stage, verify live, dead live, all that, every time. But assuming that you're going to poke and prod around in this box with more than a multimeter, you have to always use insulated tools. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. You have to. Yeah, so it is. It's a safe piece of safety equipment, and that's like some of the Chinese insulated tools, man. Like, man, between you, me, and everyone else, I don't trust them. Like, I don't trust it even if they print the certification on there. Like, who's checking up on that from an overseas company shipping to you? Granted, you would think somebody, but I don't think it's like it's regulated, but I don't think it's heavily like followed up on. So that's a real big thing for me. Is like, if I'm buying insulated tools, buying Nipex, I'm buying WIA makes really good insulated tool sets. I want to say Nipex makes some. I'll have to double check that. I know WIA's like my go-to. Jonard, I have some of those at work. Those are nice. They've held up well, never failed me. The WIA is a little nicer than the Jonard. Jonard's a little more cost effective. But yeah, insulated tools. And I finally got to look at like some insulated ratchets and things. Insulated ratchet, insulated extensions, insulated sockets. It's interesting, it's still functional. I will say it's weird because they're very coarse on the tooth count. And I think that's for, like, because you can't, like, sometimes you got to hold the bolt, right? You know what I'm talking about, when it still doesn't have enough resistance to kick in the toothing. I think it's kind of for that reason, so that you, like, don't even try. You kind of use it as a wrench until it's got enough resistance, and then you can really start ratcheting it. I think it's partly for that reason, because they don't want you to sit there and, like, fumble with it. Like, you just got to know you got to do this a few times till it gets enough resistance to actually grab, and then you can ratchet. So it's very interesting. Like, it's seriously, it's borderline like the old school, like, Craftsman 36. It's probably less teeth than that. It's very obviously coarse, but you got to think too, you need some of that tactile feedback when you have all those insulated gloves on. You got your rubbers and you got your leathers over that. You probably got the cotton glove liners inside of that. So you kind of need that tactile feedback, the heavy click when you're ratcheting, to know that it's actually working. Oh yeah, the anti-spark. God, the anti-spark stuff. See, now you're going to get me. Oh, we're going deep on it today. The anti-spark stuff, I get it. Again, it's a piece of safety equipment, but god damn, it's so expensive. I was doing a fuel pump one time, and I watched a thing, like I do, and they're like, okay, you need a brass punch. Even just a brass punch, man, it's a huge price difference. I mean, it's not anything that's outside of normal, but I was broke at the time, like broke. And I did not buy the brass punch. I didn't. I used a screwdriver and prayed to my gods that I didn't catch a spark and light the whole thing up, but yeah, I mean, you really shouldn't. We can't give these things away for free, but some of the anti-spark tools are very expensive, especially compared to their equivalent counterpart that's not anti-sparking. Yeah, that's a huge thing, but you need them when you need them, right? Especially if you're doing like industrial maintenance in any kind of place that has any kind of vapors in the air. One of those places, you absolutely positively can only use things that are non-sparking. You have to have anti-static discharge, like either bracelets or connections. You probably, if you're in this area with the vapors and the fumes, you got to wear a full-on respirator, setup. I'm sorry, oxygen, like the full respirator. It's actually feeding you oxygen. But yeah, but some of it I think is kind of gouging to a degree, but it's still important. I just wish that it wasn't so expensive. But they know most of these are going to companies, and nobody cares, right? Uh-oh, I missed a message. Maybe important, who knows? But I missed it like 35 minutes ago. So let me see what they say. Yeah, so that's crazy. I don't know, does anybody know about this part tool though? I didn't see anything in the chat. Apparently made in the USA. It looks like an aluminum handle. Kind of, I don't know why this one's blue and gray and that one's blue and blue. I do like the knurling on the shaft though. That's a nice thought. And there's lots of knurling on the butts of the handle. It's not bad. I would think if you had like greasy hands though, it would yeah, probably not the best if you're doing greasy work, but it's still interesting. Made in the USA. Part tool. I know nothing about them. So, yeah. Dude takes good pictures, though. I'll give him that. One of the favorite drawers in my toolbox. Bunch of sockets. Some pry bars. Oh, that site up there had the big SK pry bar set. I don't know why. They don't need it. But they had it. And I got to like really, hands-on take a look at some of those. They're nice. It's the handles on them are just, that's a very dense like resin or acetate or whatever material that's made out of. They're just nice. And the steel looks good. They're expensive, but they look like they're worth it. It would be a good pry bar set, especially if you get the big pry bar set like they did. Very nice. Uh-oh, it's the Joker set. Wait, what? Ooh, we got faked out. The wear pouch is being used for chisels. That's not bad, though. That's not a bad idea. A little chisel set like that. Little pouch. It's kind of bigger than it needs to be, but when you're trying to repurpose something, I guess, that's all right. Huh! CP! Stopping by. It's good to see you, buddy. Thank you for the super chat. I caught it before the alert went up. That makes a difference. I haven't been around. I haven't been like watching stuff. I will say I hopped into one of your lives the other week. YouTube finally, like I was doing something and it was like, hey, he's live. Which is weird because it's basically stopped showing me everything. I've been busy at work, busy at home. Things are hopefully starting to settle down, but I haven't been watching nothing, like anybody's stuff. I've been playing with stock market, losing money left and right, and some other things in some of my free time, but I've just been, for lack of a better term, busy. It's amazing that I can even do these live streams. A Milwaukee truck? But it's a Ford. Oh, you took one of the most reliable things and put it on one of the most unreliable platforms you could. Like, why? Why? I guess you can use your Milwaukee tools when you're fixing said truck. That's weird. It's been a minute, and my little alert thing did not come up. I wonder why at this point. Like, how bad could the delay be? Or maybe it's just not working. Huh. But no, again, CP, thank you. Much appreciated. And I will try to get over and catch some. I know you usually do Friday nights, but it has been a crap show. I've been running around and projects and just all kinds of crazy stuff. I went to Jersey for a day. That's a cesspool. That was fun. That was probably about a month or two ago now, I think. But it is good to see you, and I will get over there. We were talking about you earlier and your toolboxes and the quality of such, and how you don't ride the bandwagon. You buy what's nice and what works and what's cost effective. Not Harbor Freight, but not Snap-on. Yeah, so we were talking about that. And yeah, I'm glad to see you. I'm glad you stopped by. We are doing a thing. If you can't tell, we're running around our tools on Reddit and just seeing what people are up to. There's been some interesting stuff here and there so far. You get a lot of varying differences in, the content, but it's fun. It gives us something to talk about. Some people, talk in the chat and yada, yada, yada. I drink beer. It's up there on the cam. We have the candle going, so we keep calm, keep cool. But when you're... Oh, hold on. We're going to the picture. I'm blowing... Aw, I tried to blow it up. I'm sorry. Said when your teenage son tries to remove frozen exhaust bolts, he's using a chisel. Cut it off. Sawzall, die grinder, like whatever you gotta... Whatever you gotta do. Not that. Right tool, right job. Buddy's a young kid. And we got one of those at my place. We got one of these fresh out of school. Well, not fresh, but very little experience. Fresh out of school guys. And we had the... I'm not going to name them right. The Nipex, the flats, the adjustables, the push button adjustables with the flat teeth. They had bought a couple of sets of those. Which is funny because I look at all these other sites buying all this expensive stuff and I'm like, what? Like, I haven't bought it at my site. God, do I want to? Yeah. Do I need it? No. But they bought them. Okay, whatever. They bought them. And they had them. And this kid picks them up and he's like, well, how do you use these? And we showed him the push button. And he goes, yeah, I know, I get like that, but there's no teeth. It's called engagement. It's called not damaging your fastener. Like, there are uses. Every tool has a use and a purpose. Like, you gotta think outside the box. But yeah, young guy, not a lot of experience. So we give him a little leadway. A little. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. He's got the little baby vise in the big vise. And the little baby vise looks like that's a pretty nice little vise, too. It's probably only like 2 inches or something. I'm guessing the big one's like a 6 inch or so, give or take. But yeah, that's cool. I like that. Old vices, man, like you can just... Those things just kept on going. The new ones, some of the new ones, I've broke them. They're made out of what's essentially pot metal. They're only strong because there's a lot of material. If you're like me, and I would use them for like bending metal back in some cases, if you get a bent edge and things, I'd like occasionally, I would use them for these types of purposes. We even had one that we hooked up a hydraulic piston to from Harbor Freight of all places, and a foot pedal, and you use the foot pedal to operate the vise, and it's still only intrinsically as powerful as it can be, but with the hydraulic cylinder, it's a little more so than you can like hand crank. So it had a little more force. I'd use that to like straighten up edges when I'd bend flanges and things. So it was pretty good, but there was one down in Mexico. Now it was a cheap Chinese vise, I'm sure. But I was trying to hammer something back straight. You know, I got it in the vise and I'm trying to catch that 90 degree at the teeth a little bit, and I'm trying to straighten something out. Just like I don't even think it was a 60. It's probably like a 12-ounce ball peen hammer. And I'm not whacking, you know, for my life. I'm just banging on it, and it literally snapped the vise, like broke it, the jaw arm, toasted, like just pot metal. These old ones are not. They're steel. Oh no! I hit back too many times. Oh no! Well, there's 2 hours of scrolling that we have to sit through. No, go down. Back to where we were. Oh yeah, there was the zip time mixer. Oh, we gotta go. We gotta go. Go, 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 go. Yeah, we're way back. It won't take that long. We're almost there. Yeah, there's the screwdrivers. Come on. Load up, intranet. Keep going. Keep going. There's the chisels. We're almost there. Okay. The living room garage with a video game and a men working sign. Ooh. Hold on. Can we blow this up? Let's blow this up. What kind of hutch is that? Is that something they sell? Is that actually Snap-on? That's an interesting hutch. I like that. It's simple. It's not the whole length or the whole depth, I guess you would say, of the toolbox. I actually like that. And it's the slots instead of the actual pegboard. So yeah, I like that a lot. That's pretty cool. He's an import guy though. You see all the VW badges and the Audi. He's working on imports. That's pretty cool. I like that. What is that? Best blower out there, gas or electric. What? Is that eco? Is it, what? Is it eco? 56 volts? What's it say? Eco? Yeah, ego. Really? I don't know. I've never played with them. Maybe somebody knows. It did kind of look like that, Doug. Maybe he fabricated it, but it looked like it it fit on that toolbox really well for it to be something he threw together. I mean, obviously the form of it would have been right. Maybe he just put the pegboard on the back or the slot board, whatever you want to call it. But, yeah, very interesting. And now, it's been a minute, but I wonder why my super chat thing didn't activate. That's really weird. Because, can I test widgets? I'm trying to test the super chat thing to see. No, it's not working. That's weird. Huh. I'll have to look into that later because that upsets me because I actually got a super chat for the first time in a little while. Now, that's not saying anything to any of you, but it's a factual statement. And And the little guy didn't go off and do all the stuff. That's upsetting. It's the least I can do. Automotive tune-up parts. Oh, that's cool. I would pay money for that. That is sweet. You can't find stuff like this anymore. That is really sweet. I like that cabinet. I mean, it may be all but useless, but I wouldn't care. It looks really cool. But okay, those are feet. I thought it was on wheels. Okay, that's that's cool. I would want that cabinet. I especially I like the cars. That's really cool. Yeah, that's a good find. That's some stuff Dana would find at like an estate sale. Field service work bag. Okay, do your thing. Lots of new tools. How about some love for an old workhorse? Tritech T5 airless sprayer. And it looks like it's seen some things. And by judging him using it, it's obviously still doing alright. That's not bad. I hear those airless sprayers are actually like better in the long haul than any of your other options. Obviously, they're, for a certain application, but everybody says they're really good. Wow. Dude's red hot. Red hot. It's gonna stabilize after a while, they said. I don't know. That's more like that's even hotter than most wood burners I've seen. Jesus. You ain't not using that. But then again too, it looks like, I'm guessing this is his unit, and it's saying status error. But he does only have, if you look at the knob's like at the midway point, so that's weird. It's glowing red. Obviously something's not working there. What is this? What do we got here? Some kind of tool for like trim, rubber grommets on a window, something for pushing something back into a channel of some kind of press tool. That's all I got. It's definitely not a blade. Backboard scoring knife. Oh, okay. Backboard scoring knife. What's this say? They say this is... Oh, yeah. It's actually a cobalt, too. Alright. So it is sort of a blade, but it's not. Okay. So it's a backboard scoring knife. Alright. I was wrong. Craftsman review. What in the world... Oh, no. No, I can't play the videos. But if you saw that thumbnail, he had took two linesman's pliers, welded them up, kind of like a set of welder's helping hands, I guess, more so than welder helpers. But yeah, that's weird. A lot of those tools that they fabricate and do these weird things with, it's like next to useless, or they're fabricating a tool that already exists. Like most of those videos are kind of stupid. It's nice to see like the ingenuity and their fabrication skills, but at the same time, like I saw one where like a guy literally like made a ratchet, a very rudimentary ratchet, like square drive and everything, and they were like, congratulations, you just spent like 2 hours making something that you could have bought at the store for like $10 if you were cheap enough. Like, why would you go through all that hassle? $19, 14-inch blade, only used once. I think he's just buying the blade. Yeah, I think you're just buying the blade from a meth head at 2 a.m. in a dark alley. I think that's what you're buying there. He says, saw blade is 14 inches, just used once. Concrete saw. But I don't think you're getting a concrete saw for $19. I think you're just getting the blade. Extremely wavy, plain sole. Me freshening up the wood knob. That's a Brad's Workbench type joke there. I don't have any comebacks for that one. As long as you talk over it and other content. Yeah, like the whole, what is it, review thing or commentary. Yeah, I know, I get it. I just like to try to steer off those lines if ever it becomes an issue. Somebody got some Cobras. That's nice. And he got like I call that like more like the duckbill. That's actually nice. That comes in handy sometimes. Good little set. Looking for a tool to widen the horizontal gap between these two pieces of brass. What? Okay. This is a very specific. You got shims everywhere else. Why don't you have shims for this? And where's the bolt? There's so many questions. Yeah, well, there's so many questions. What are you doing with your life? Is one of them. I don't know. Ooh, look at that. My friend's grandpa's old snap-on wrench. He was telling me to tighten or loosen a bolt. You had to remove the anvil and put it in the other side of the wrench. Oh, cool. So it's not even reversible. And that's right, because this, if you look, let's pull it up here. Come on. Come on, computer. You can do it. It's mining cryptocurrency at the same time. That's one of the reasons why it's slightly slow. Made in Milwaukee, USA, Snap-on. And it does. It says this is the on side. I'm assuming the other side's going to say off. And you had to pop out the anvil and reverse it yourself. That's really cool. This thing has seen some things. You can see like the, I'm going to say rivets, but they're probably not. More like dowels. But you can see them kind of there a little bit. That would be, I mean, I don't know how people would feel about it. Come on, zoom out. I don't know how people would feel about it, but that would be one of those where I would like to see that restored. And most of that would be, you know, metal work and polishing, obviously. But yeah, see how far we've come? See how far? Like, look at that. That's probably probably 30s. I don't know. Is Snap-on that old? I'm not even going to look it up to find out. Probably not. Probably newer. 40s maybe. And I bet at the time that was the shit. I bet everybody was just going on and on. Yep. Oh, yep. Look. Oh, okay. It literally just has like a little back plane. And that's what catches it when you slip it. Oh, that's so cool. That would, yeah, this would definitely be something I'd want to see restored. Taking the head apart would be one thing. That would be kind of iffy. But that's really cool. There's no ball bearing to hold the socket on or anything. I like that. I like that a lot. What's going on in the chat? I'm too happy to care. I don't know why, but CP is too happy to care, so I will drink to that. Again, thank you for the $5. I don't know why my little thing's not working. I'll try to figure that out for future. But yes, again, much appreciated. More importantly, that you stopped by. That's more appreciated than the $5. But Scott says, had to ignore somebody calling me a 50-year-old crybaby. I'll show you who the crybaby really is. Did anybody block said person? I thought I saw... Yeah, thank you. Somebody removed the comment. I thought I saw something about that, but I was on a roll, and I figured pretty much everybody in here, for the most part, is moderators. Anyway, I'm not on the thing, so I can't add CP or Scott at the moment. They seem to be the only two that aren't moderators. You know how we do these streams? Everybody's a moderator. Kick everybody else out. I don't care. It's just mainly for show. And we in the tool community got really lucky that the moderator symbol is a wrench. I've heard you can customize it now, maybe. But maybe that's only for like really big creators, of which I am not. So, yeah, but I've heard you can do some things to kind of customize that, maybe. Mac Toolbox. Triple Bank. Not hateful. I wonder if they made that top or that's what came with it. It looks kind of like they made it, which is still fine. It looks alright. But I gotta wonder why you have an axe on your toolbox. A 4-foot axe at that. That's weird. That's weird. One of these things does not belong. I get the big radio, Milwaukee, but I don't get the axe. Maybe you're out there splitting firewood. Quite possibly. It depends on where you live. You know the drill. You walk into the store for one thing and leave with another. Too true. Too true. That's one of the reasons why I haven't been going to the stores lately. That and apartment life is not the same. But yeah. Somebody here. Can I find the specific tool or something just like it? An Ampro finger ratchet. Yeah, you can find that all day long from all kinds of manufacturers. New tool day for me. Old Matco set. That's a nice set. It's got the speed wrench. Oh, yeah. That's pretty nice. Look at that ratchet. Oh my god. Look at that ratchet. Look how thick the head of that ratchet is. It's a 1/2 inch, but damn. It's even still got the universal joint. And the extension. That's a nice set. I'm surprised he found this in such good condition. That's really nice. Gotta kind of wonder with the sockets how they're doing. But they're all 6-point, so that's good. That's a nice little set. It does look like... Oh! I'm hoping that's just the chrome. It doesn't look like just the chrome, though. They're kind of beat up. The 19 is, anyway. Yeah, that's seen some things. Jeez. But yes, still a very nice set. More than happy to have it. I wonder what he paid for it. I'm sure he doesn't say. Yeah, nobody says anything. Oh, it's missing the 10mm socket. Of course. Of course it is. Why? What is... I still don't quite understand. I will find the 8mm every time. I lose the 10. It's our curse, I guess. Okay, so he's gonna refurbish this old draw knife. He got it for $10. All right. I'm going to say you're going to run into some problems, though, because you're missing not much material, but you're missing some material. So you're going to have to shorten this. At least. Probably. That's kind of iffy. I wish you the best, though. Yeah, I don't know. Good luck. That's a tough one. Because it's mainly just, it's literally, honestly, just metalwork, and then figuring out what you want to do with the handles. Making sure you get those to attach correctly is going to be tough. Okay, it's like an old something. I don't know what that is. It looks like some blades or a knife sharpener. Is that what it is? Combination glass cutter knife sharpener. Yeah, something like that. It looks like the wheel was supposed to be at the end here. It's seen some better days. It's like a pearl or ivory handle. Seen some better days, but still cool old find if he said he just found it in the bin. Old Craftsman Vise, 5.5 inch with the pipe jaw on there. Doesn't look anything too crazy. He's asking when it was made. If I had to bet, that looks like late 80s, early 90s. I mean, it's not anything too old. You can tell by the machining of the handle and things, it's not super old. That's funny. You're looking for excuses to buy more tools. I have all the screwdrivers I'll ever need. And then there's that little I don't even know what it's called. I know the first time I saw it, Nintendo was putting it on their controllers so that people wouldn't take them apart. Little did they know that people sell tools. And then it became a common tool for people to buy so they could open up their controllers and do things. Mom's preferred drywall knife. Okay, that's cool. Customize. Go ahead, go for it. If that's what makes it better and you like that big thick handle, Mom likes it thick. And it's got to be at least 6 inches. But yeah, no, customized, that's cool. She could have some arthritis or something in her hands or some carpal tunnel she's dealing with. She needs something to grasp. And that's cool. Adapt and overcome. 1984 Black & Decker power drill. And he's asking for basically tips on how to maintain it, maybe open it up, clean it out, get it working as well as it could. One of these things, man, you never do any metal work with it. Wood and soft things, and I know that's crazy because of how big it is, but if this thing catches a burr and your drill bit doesn't spin, ooh, it's going to break your arm. It's going to break your arm, wrist, whatever. Yeah, you're getting hurt because that thing's it's not like these tools today, and even some of them have decent power, but this corded stuff, it'll just rip you apart. Dewalt, I actually have that grinder at work. We don't use it for grinding. We use it for abrasive pads, for cleaning. The grinder, I put that thing through some paces. The Dewalt grinder's nice. DeWalt stuff isn't bad. It holds up really well. I've been using that grinder. Well, the grinder not as often, but like right angle drills. I've been using the DeWalts for like over a year now. Like a mandrel and abrasive pad again. It spins a little slower, but it still works. We bought two of those. And I mean, I've used this thing battery after battery after battery for days on end. And it gets hot, and I don't like the way it's set up. The lever's okay, you know, the trigger. It's alright. It could be better, but the exhaust fan for the motor housing is like literally right where your hand is. So when you're using it for drilling, it's probably not a big issue because it's not going to get as hot. When you're doing what I'm doing, that's one of the reasons why I switched to the grinder, because it's not blowing hot air on my hand every second of use. Uh-oh. Tarek's here. What's going on, buddy? It's good to see you. Wrist breaker. Yes, sir. And I first got my brush with corded tools because somebody at work at my last job needed a new drill. And I still, to this day, I was not a part of it. I was not party to it. I don't know. They bought a corded drill for him. And, okay, whatever. And we were doing something, trying to drill something out. And the cordless tools just weren't hacking it. We needed more power. And the thing caught a couple times. It caught on the other guy. My dumbass said, okay. And this was a Hitachi corded drill. And so, there's no clutch on it. It's just going to grab. And when it grabs, and it was the period that we're trying to get through this metal, we were trying to drill out something. It's steel. And something, bolt got broke or something. We're trying to drill something so we could easy out, or at least attempt to. And it was just a mess. But this thing caught me like one good time, and I didn't let go of the drill, but like it spun my arm around, and I finally caught it like way back over here with my wrist like fully out. I felt that for days. Like I probably actually legitimately sprained my wrist. I know I say sprained, and you guys think, oh, go get some ice and put it on it, right? And I get it, but no, those corded tools, like they really have a purpose. Like wood and soft stuff. Drilling a lot of it, thick wood, like it doesn't matter. You can do all that stuff with it. But when it comes to metal, you catch a burr or something, anything that's got more resistance than that thing can put out, and it's coming back at you. It's going to spin, break wrists, whatever, throw itself into oblivion. It's going somewhere. There's the old meme. Ratchet, bigger ratchet, super bigger ratchet, grinder, cutter, whatever, torch, can't be tight if it's liquid. It's a good meme, but at this point it's kind of drawn out, and we've all been there before, right? Okay, so this guy says, help, this is my current toolbox setup. I need to increase the size of my storage. I need drawers. He's looking for recommendations. Toolbox the same length with just a few more small drawers. I believe it's a 26-inch. Man, you just need to get a toolbox, like a real. That's a chest, right? First off, and it's a small one. And you may not have a lot of tools now, but as you start fixing things, even if you're a handyman, do-it-yourselfer, whatever. Obviously, somehow he's gotten by on this for some period of time, right? You just need to go get you, even a Craftsman setup. Obviously, it looks like he's not spending a lot, right? Craftsman, Husky, Cobalt, like whatever. just go get like a half decent couple $100 something. They always have those deals for like 200-ish bucks. The little like 26-inch top chest and like a smaller, usually like a cabinet or something with like a couple drawers on the bottom. They have those all the time. Craftsman has them. Cobalt has something like that. It's a little smaller. There are some smaller options out there. I mean, and if you really want to go really cheap, just buy another similar setup to that looks identical to some of those little Craftsman 26-inch top chests. Yeah, but really, if I had a recommendation for this guy, and I think any of you would say just, go out and buy something. Hell, it seems like if he's doing okay with this, right, a Harbor Freight U.S. General tool cart, the 5-drawer, could change this motherfucker's life. Oh, is Bill still here? I hope Bill's still not here. Not supposed to cuss when Bill's here. Or try not to cuss when Bill's here. But yeah, that's just, man, like, and I get some of these guys come on here asking for recommendations, like, and they're being serious. Like, this doesn't seem like he's, trolling or anything. But it's an obvious solution, dude. Just either buy some more of what you got or, like, legitimately upgrade. But even his upgrade to us would be like a side purchase, right? Like, he could literally buy, like, a side box and just throw it over there in the corner and double or even maybe triple his storage capacity based on what he's getting by with. So, literally, he can almost do anything and he can't lose. The only bad thing is that a year's, 3 years from now, he may be upset that he didn't just go buy like a 46-inch something or another and throw it under that bench. You just never know. That's a road box. Let's see. Is it a road box? Okay, yeah, this dude's obviously a little new. And Reddit's not necessarily supposed to be, like, anonymous. In general, it kind of is, but, like, this dude's literally got his name posted up on the box. Like, I get it, but that's funny. But yeah, he seems like he's doing alright. Like, his organization is on point. Looks like he's making good use of his space, obviously, if this has been okay enough. Is that a grinder hanging on the side? He's going to do just fine with damn near anything else. He just needs to add to it with literally whatever his budget allows. Quite literally. So that's the recommendation there, and I'm sure a lot of people probably said things similar to that in the comments to him. Oh, Dewalt laser level, it looks like. Yep. Dude says he's going to build his own porch. I actually bought one of these. PJ, over on Struggleville. I haven't been keeping up with him either. But that's because I haven't been buying a lot of tools. And his is mainly like sales and special deals and things. But he posted a deal a while back for, it's a cheap Chinese laser line level. It does like a cross section. It has a couple of little features on it, but nothing too crazy. But it does alright. It's got a tripod mount on it and all that other stuff that you would want. And it's okay. And I think I got that thing for like, it was like $15 or something crazy. He found like a really good promo code / coupon deal on Amazon. It was really cheap. But it's functional. It may not be the best thing in the world. It may not be, super crazy accurate or anything like that. But if you're doing some basic stuff, picture hanging, or, you just need a relatively level, straight line as a guide, it's going to do that. And it does. I've done it in relatively lit areas. Set it up and tested it and things. And, I mean, even in like a pretty normally lit room or, where bright sunlight's coming in the window, you can still see it from like a decent distance, especially if you're working like a room or like an area of that room that's maybe like a corner or some other area. I was really surprised for the price. Like, I thought it was going to be like barely functional or whatever, but it did pretty good for the cost. So sometimes you get lucky. Okay, so our tools apparently 2 days ago crossed 300,000 members. Congratulations to them, even though they hate me and I'm banned. I can still look, but I can't touch. So here this guy is, I'm not going to say restoring, I'm just going to say painting, because that's what we can obviously see that he did. And I am already, I'm kind of iffy. Like, that's super glossy. And you painted the jaws themselves. I get it. I've done rush jobs. I've been in a pinch. I've had, whatever I had laying around as far as spray paint to paint something or whatever. But the gloss is just not a good look on this. And this is a 1948. Like, I mean, you didn't ruin it. It still probably looks better than it did before you painted it. But what's a promo code? Shut up, Mark. Go back to your alderman duties. Mark knows what promo codes are now. He posts them all the time on the Facebook tool sales and deals page. He is outposting me like 10-1. And it's not a contest, but I am losing. I'm not doing a whole lot of that either. Maybe once a week I jump on there and post a couple of codes that I find, because Mark's already found all the deals and posted them. When I showed him how to do the promo codes and how to find them, I opened the floodgates. He finds a lot of good deals and posts them. I want to say even Brad the other day came in there, which he does occasionally. And he came in there and posted some deals, and I like to see that. The whole idea behind the page is that everyone is supposed to post deals that they find. But what we found after hitting... Have we hit 3K yet, Mark? I don't think we have. We're close, though. To 3K members. Most people just want to ingest the tool deals. Like, they're not super interested in posting and sharing. We've had a couple here and there. Like, people will post cool stuff that they find or a deal at this store or whatever. But, yeah. There's not a whole lot of other people. It's basically me, Mark... Michael Morgan, who is Wood Grain Wood Grain Owings Mills on YouTube. And we go around on Amazon looking for coupon codes and promo codes and combinations of such and tool deals. And the occasional scented candle. And we post those there. And the funny thing is, when Mark posted the scented candle as a joke, people started reporting because, like, they don't know, right? Most of the people that actually, pretty much all the people that are on there don't watch my channel or the live streams. And so they don't get, like, the candle is here, the candle cam, beer cam kind of thing. And so they didn't get the inside joke, and we started getting reports of people asking us to take down the post because it wasn't a tool, which is also funny because I actually bought one. That's the candle that you're looking at right now. It is a Yankee Candle Company lavender and lemon, and it's nice. I actually like the lavender and lemon. Very calming. Is this different from porn? And how? Oh, that is pretty, though. What? But this looks like... Is this... What is... Hold on. Oh, it's not. It's a video. I can't pause it the way I want to pause it. Come on now, Internet. I have a good connection, I swear. It's just that I'm watching my cryptocurrency, I'm mining cryptocurrency, I'm live streaming, doing all these things. Which, oh, by the way, to the few people that are hanging out in here, I haven't figured out which area. I invested a lot, right? Not a lot, a manageable amount. But I finally withdrew my YouTube money for the first time ever. Not because I had to, but because I was like, all right, screw it. Like, it was building up. So it was like, a decent amount, I think. And I didn't, like, tell myself, but basically, like, I was like, I'm going to invest it. I threw it into all my other, like, crypto and different investments. And I've made profits in a lot of areas, but, like, I don't know where I put it. I just threw it in and did things like normal. So somewhere in there I have some profits. Like, for instance, one of these coins that I've been holding forever, it's been, steadily doing some stuff. It's like, I really finally got in around $20 a coin, somewhere in there. Bought a bunch. It went up. It more than doubled. I took some profit. Went back down. I bought some more. It went back up. I took some more profit. So I've taken profit a couple of times off of this one. And so I only got like 15 coins left. Doesn't sound like much. But like it was chilling around like $30 or something. The other day, it's down a little bit now. But the other day, it screamed up over the course of like 2 days for little to no reason. Up to like 90 some dollars, almost $100 a coin. I did not sell. But last I checked before the stream, I think it's still sitting around $85 a coin. I've made a pretty penny off of what I had left. I'm now kicking myself in the ass for selling what I did before. But somewhere in there, the channel has some profits. So I don't know how that's what I'm going to do with it. But I do. So maybe I'll buy some tools and give them away to you guys like I do normally. Gave away what? I mean, between the Bauer and the Master Mechanic drill the other day, that's a good $200 at least. I want to say, yeah, the Master Mechanic drill, I think that whole kit was probably like $120 or something like that because of the 2 batteries and everything. It's True Value hardware, so their prices are a little higher. They're still more like your hometown store. And this video is just not loading, so we'll go back. But yeah, but you know what this looks like to me? I'm just calling it what I see it. It looks like one of those cheap Chinese boxes that they try to sell with like all the tools in it. I'm not dogging it. I'm not saying it's not a great little setup or that this isn't like functional. I'm not saying the tools are junk or any of that. I'm just saying that's kind of like what it looks like. They do a lot of these smaller 26-inch or so toolboxes that are already loaded with a bunch of stuff. But I will say this one looks like it has a pretty good assortment. Your ratchet wrenches are flex heads. That's different. You got the offset boxed in wrenches. Like, they've done some things there. So, whatever that is, it doesn't look half bad. I will say, the disappointing thing for me is that I've been wanting to order one of those for years at this point. To the point to where I've talked on the damn phone and WhatsApp and all the other stuff. I've been messaging these suppliers, but they only want to do wholesale for the most part. Like, you can order one, but because of the shipping cost and things, it's like literally not worth it. Like, I found like one of them big toolboxes, like the big fuckers. It was like 60 some inches. I mean, just triple bank, hutch, like everything you can imagine. Obviously Chinese quality. But even something like that, you can get it for like a decent price. But the problem comes in the shipping and the customs and all the head. It's just not worth it. to like try to order from them unless you're doing like wholesale. And I'm not trying to sell toolboxes for a living, so that's just not me. I'm not doing it. See, here's that guy again. And this, I don't think this is the one that we saw last week. This is something different. Or, no, this is a different guy. But it's a very similar setup. And he cleaned it up, got it back into a good order. I mean, I don't mind the blue handle. It looks like a Tiffany blue, basically. But I'm kind of scratching my head going, why? But, I mean, I'm not going to dog his, artistic expression or whatever. It's not hateful. Definitely catches the eye. You're going to see it if you forget to put it up or something. Not a bad looking restoration. I will say, I kind of wonder if he painted that metal. Or if that's like the, what is it? It doesn't look like the, what was it? The bluing? I don't know what that stuff is. How you blue metal, like a lot of knife makers and, people that forge things and stuff, they'll do that. They'll blue it up. It's some kind of chemical reaction with the metal. It changes the color. But yeah, I don't think it's bad. I mean, obviously you go from that to this. It's now a functional tool again. Somehow audio got turned on. I don't know when. Ooh. What? I've not seen this stool. And there's two ways this can go. That looks super padded, right? It's either gonna be good and the padding is enough, or it's like padded to look padded and it's just gonna like crush down when you sit on it. So I'm hoping, because it's Dewalt and it actually looks like it's made half decent, that's gonna be a decent stool. I've not seen this. That's a nice looking stool because it's got a little back lip there, padding all the way to the edge. That might be a good choice. I will say, it's not in here right now because my kids use it as a toy. The Harbor Freight little stool, the round, okay, I have both. I have the square with like the shelf underneath, and I have the round with the little tray, basically for the wheel mounts. And the padding sucks on both of them. The pleather material or vinyl or whatever it is over top doesn't seem too bad, but I've thought about redoing that whole Harbor Freight like stool with new casters, new material for the seat, new padding for sure. I've thought about redoing it, and I might if I get the wherewithal, I'll actually make a video on it. But yeah, that stool, it's not even worth the $20. It's really not. It's uncomfortable. Like, if you sit on it for any length of time, and I'm a little guy, anybody bigger than me, you're basically sitting on a board. There's no padding there. It's ridiculous. Toolbox, can't speak. CP says, toolboxes aren't where the money is. That's just lipstick for the pig. Yeah, well, yeah, and I wouldn't sell toolboxes. I was just trying to facilitate getting one of these cheap toolboxes from Alibaba, and that was like the big one. I've talked to them and checked in on the ones that are filled with tools too, the smaller ones. Same thing. Customs is going to be a nightmare. You gotta freight ship it. Like you can't. It's too big. They will not put it in a plane. It's got to come over on a ship. It's going to take forever. Like, you're going to have to pay more money at customs when it comes through anyway. It's just, by the time you add it all up, it's just not worth it. Which is upsetting because I'd like to buy one of those boxes and really look at it. I had the idea a while back, too, I didn't figure out what toolbox it would be, per se. But a relatively cheap toolbox, right? And then the Harbor Freight 301 piece mechanic set, maybe with a few alterations, and then get all of the inserts made for the drawers of the toolbox to basically make it fit and be organized inside there, and basically like a make your own kit. I thought about doing something like that, but obviously, again, that too has not happened. I've been kind of busy, but the good news is the divorce is finalized, and like I'm now that it's finalized, I've switched my insurance. I'm waiting on paperwork, but I've switched my insurance, and like a lot of the actual like separations and things like that's all starting to kind of settle down, and hopefully work doesn't get more crazy than it already is, and then maybe I can focus for more than like 30 seconds on anything else for a while. But we'll see how that goes. For welders and steel workers, 1947. General Electric advertisement for arc welding equipment. Joins metals silently, swiftly, and securely. Huh. Really? Silently? Silently, really? Electric arc welding. Huh. Like, so what are they talking about there? Is that more like TIG? Is that what became TIG welding? I'm guessing, but I'd have to look it up. It seems like what they're talking about. That's pretty cool, though. Paper's seen better days, but I mean, at this point, 47, man, we had other stuff going on then. We had just, ended World War II, right? Oh, these are always nice. If you can keep these clean, you find one somewhere, you can clean it up, spruce it up. These are always good. I don't care who you are. It's more of like a machinist box, but it's just, the value is just so high. And then Gershner makes really nice wooden toolboxes and gun boxes and things like that, like rifle. They have like rifle boxes, and the rifle sits in it and pops up. They make some really good stuff, but this doesn't look like their stuff, but this is along the same lines. Older, more of like your machinist toolbox. That's pretty good stuff. Definitely hard to find nowadays in like even half decent shape. So if you find one that's in like a pretty functional order, scoop it up. Uh-oh. Somebody made the earplug, the wireless earplugs, headphones thing, which, to the best of my knowledge, if you must know, it's not PPE. This dude's saying it's PPE, and while it may actually offer some noise reduction, the problem is, and why it's still not OSHA compliant, is because then you have music in your ear over top of that. You cannot hear. If you're mowing your lawn, yeah, it's cool. But in all honesty, headphones are going to do that pretty much anyway. It's going to drown out the sound of the mower, and you're going to hear your headphones. But in this case, if you're actually trying to wear these as PPE at work, which, most of you mechanics and people don't have to worry about, but if you're in an industrial setting, you probably can't hear the fire alarm going off. You probably can't hear somebody screaming at you to turn something off if something bad happens. It's going to drown out the other sounds around you by way of the earplugs, and then drowned out even more because you have the music coming from the earplugs. So even though these are a thing, and a lot of people make them, the earplug style headphones. They're not compliant with any OSHA standard. They're not sufficient replacements for actual earplugs. You'll still get in trouble, basically, if and when they figure it out. They're literally made to look like earplugs. That's why they got the blue wire. It looks like the blue cord that holds the two earplugs together so you can reuse them. Not a good thing. Don't get me wrong. I would love to listen to music and stuff at work too. If possible. But you're not supposed to. There's a reason why you're supposed to be attentive to your surroundings. New tool day, spud wrenches, 20% off. A friend's father who was $20 off a friend's father who was a union iron worker. That's pretty cool. That's a good deal too. I like it. That looks like some Harbor Freight shit. No. Amazon, he says. $40 on Amazon. Cheapest one with all the adapters. Okay, well, hope for the best. Cheap stuff on Amazon. It's become the new Harbor Freight. It's a toss-up. Like, you can get really good stuff sometimes, but half the time you get really bad things. I bought one of those, the brake bleeder, like the little pneumatic vacuum hand pump thing, and it works. It works. It's okay, but here's the thing. The brake fluid corrodes the metal, and just after like 2 uses, the next time I went to pull it out, it was just so corroded that it wouldn't seal anymore. It couldn't hold pressure, and that was it's Harbor Freight equivalent. Harbor Freight has the same thing, but this one came off of Amazon, so it's about the same quality, about the same price probably, but it just wasn't worth it. It was not worth it at all. Checking out the chat, seeing what's going on. CP and Mark having the bromance. Princess Jamie got wheel travel. Oh, she's still doing the brakes. And I'm talking about bleeding brakes, so that's close to perfect, right? Nipex wire stripper. Maybe. Some of you get I would never buy those. I like the wire strippers that I like. I don't like the big bulky things. I don't like the ones that try to strip the insulation off of either one or multiple wires at the same time, equidistant to. I'll do it myself. But then again, too, I'm all right, and I'm gonna notice if I have too much bare wire, or if I have not enough bare wire for the wire to get into the terminal to make a connection. Like, I noticed those things. Those things were drilled into me heavily in my training and in school, to make sure that you only cut off as much as you need to. And if, God forbid, you make a mistake, guess what? Cut it off again, flush, and then redo it. That's why you leave extra wire on runs. A little bit, not like a shit ton, but you leave a little extra so you can make that extra cut should you mess up or something. And we actually had something like that happen not too long ago where somebody complained that it was a positive wire, it is live voltage, and they must have stripped like half a fucking inch off this wire and then made the terminal connection, and you just have like 3/8 of an inch or whatever of bare wire coming out from the terminal. Like, is it gonna be an issue? Most likely. No. Is it a hazard? Yes, by all means. So, I don't like these, but I will say this. I was up at that place today, and I don't know who made it, like what company it was, but they had this thing, and it looked like basically like a pair of pliers for zip ties. Like you would get the zip tie like together or whatever, and then you put this thing on it and you squeeze it like this, and that's ratcheting the zip tie. And then once you get it tight, there was like another little lever or something here you press down, and that would send a knife up and cut the zip tie off flush, or flush-ish, I'm assuming. Um, and I looked at that too, and I'm like, is this really necessary? Like, you can't do this by pulling and with a pair of cutters? Like, why are you going through all this trouble? Lots of stuff like that just doesn't make sense to me, and I don't get it. Some of these tools are just, I think it's people having tools for the sake of making tools, selling tools. Tanya Harding. Oh, shit. That'll kneecap somebody, for sure. What are those? Are those Forstner bits? Yeah, I guess they would be. That's a bunch of woodworking tools. That's not bad. Gift from Dad, passing it down. Gotta like that. Oh, damn. You picked up all these planes today? That's a lot. And see, that's the thing. I'm not a woodworker. You know, Brad's the woodworker. I'm not. Definitely. I know a lot about woodworking. My dad was a woodworker. He did a ton of stuff growing up, and I was always in there watching him and learning about stuff. So I'm not a woodworker, but I know a lot about it. I don't know why you need that many planes. I really don't. And I know some of them have some different aspects, but like when you're at some point, sometimes you're just stacking to stack. Like there's no functionality. Like me and my ratchets, like CP and his ratchets, he's got a million ratchets. He's got doubles, the same functionality. This one's a different brand. This one's a higher tooth count. This one has a comfort grip handle. This one doesn't. This one's a comfort grip flex head 25-inch. This one's an 18-inch 3/8. Like there are some differences sometimes, but you know you have doubles in there. I have doubles. We all do. So, oh, what? Dude found this at a thrift store? No. What brand is that? If we're even going to be able to see. Camberton and Company Limited, Toronto, Canada. That is super cool. That is. I don't know. It looks like the rule of it is brass, like a brass inlay. I would try to clean that up. I would. I mean, maybe that's the wrong thing to do there. But it's basically, you got a little set of calipers there. That's pretty cool to find anywhere, let alone a thrift store where you probably didn't pay next to anything for it. Oh. I didn't learn welding, Renegade, until my last job. It's pretty much a requirement. So I learned how to weld, and I mean, mostly MIG. I've never really done TIG or arc welding. I'm sure I could, or torch welding, like actual gas, argon, or whatever. I'm sure I could. Or is it, wait, would that be not argon? That'd be oxyacetylene. Anyhow, so, like, MIG, for what I've found, okay, in most cases, a good MIG, it may not be like the super crazy pretty welds that some of these experts do, but it's not going to be your flux core weld either. It's going to be pretty uniform, pretty decent. So, a good MIG weld is all you really need. I mean, functionality wise, it depends on what you're looking for based on your aesthetics and how much grinding or whatever else you want to do after the fact. But that's always seemed like kind of like the go-to. It's relatively easy, relatively cheap, and it's so much of an upgrade. Even the crappiest home MIG welder is going to outperform flux core just like crazy. But flux core is designed to be the I just need to stick these two parts together. Like this two pieces of metal or, whatever have you that you're building, rebuilding, whatever. I just need to fasten them together and I'm going to weld. And this is the cheapest option. That's literally all it is. I see acetylene. You know what, Mark? You can just go on. Just go on. Go back to your alderman duties. Speaking of which, how many? There's a lot of my stuff. Okay, there it is. I have 7 happy souls somehow in the chat. Ooh, that's an old one. It's an old skill saw. Jigsaw, look at that. Look how big, man. And that's the thing. Like, a lot of the people, man, they're not realizing. You look at this at the store and everybody's got one. And you just think, oh, okay. Like, there were no battery operated shits. Nothing. When I grew up. Like, there wasn't. They're little, tiny things. And they were the most impractical things because batteries didn't last for anything at the time. NiCad or some of them straight up alkaline batteries. There wasn't battery powered anything, and we've come so far that you can literally have a workshop with like 1 or 2 outlets and probably be okay for the most part, depending on the amperage of that outlet and how much stuff you're going to run at the same time and all that stuff. Like, you can take a circular saw like this out into the field and cut wood in the middle of nowhere. Like, it's just, I think sometimes people lose like how far we've come, especially some of the people that have grown up with cordless drills and tools. Like, cordless drills are now the standard, right? Like, quite literally. Corded drills got everyone through everything up to this point. Like, there weren't any battery-powered tools. The old stuff was the way. Ooh. Okay, this dude's got a milling machine. It's old. It's old. It's probably, I'm going to say 70s, maybe 80s, somewhere in there. That's old. That's old. But I'm sure it still functions pretty well. Very interesting. Some of these guys are getting lucky. That's a pretty good find, especially, looking at it, basically looks like it probably has power. He's running cords and stuff, so he's probably trying to test it. Chances are it works, or it's close to working condition. That's not bad, but finding parts for something like this, you're going to have to basically get them custom made, Unless by some miracle this company's still in, business and has these parts somewhere. Oh, alright, guys. It is getting late, and I have to get up with my daughter in the morning. And this is a really good format. Uh, I'd like to switch it over to maybe videos if I can ever find time to actually record and edit the actual videos and try to cut out, highlights and such things. Um, but for now, I think it's working pretty well even on the live stream. I get to ignore the chat like always. Um, and do my thing. But I think I am going to cut it off here. The beer is, I think I still got a glass in there, but I'll probably finish this one, pop that cork back in this, and call it a night. It's been a pretty long day. I hate these travel days. They just drain me. Driving for like 2 hours. It's not bad when I was younger. Like, I guess it didn't bother me, but now that I'm older, it's not excruciating, but it's very draining for some reason, especially because I'm usually in some major metropolitan area and traffic is horrible. Always, every day, something's under construction for little to no reason. It's upsetting. But anyhow, I thank you guys for stopping by. CP, if you do happen to still be around, again, thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. Tarek, thanks for stopping by. I know you don't stop by often. Again, much appreciated. I hope it was in some way entertaining, even if it was only for the wrist breaker comment. But yeah, guys, Princess Jamie, good luck on your breaks if you're still listening. Mark C., congratulations on your new position as alderman, and I wish you the best of luck. I'm sure you will let me know how that goes. Renegade, I hope everything is going well for you down there. You can always shoot me a message if you ever need to talk or anything's going on. Hit me up, let me know what's happening. And other than that, guys, I will, at the very least, see you next week. Maybe, if I'm lucky, I will get to some semblance of a video, but I make no guarantees until things calm down. So, until next week, I will see you guys soon, and I thank you for stopping.